Hello everyone, how good of you to join and welcome to the first Age of Empires 4 gameplay that we are seeing on this channel here today as the open beta technical test stress test is starting. Now this stress test is including the mission 0, the first mission of, well, this game, and also some multiplayer matches here, and of course we're going to have a look at all of that. First of all, we are playing mission 0. Let's get cracking.
Driven from their homes by armed invaders, a few hardy refugees faced the prospect of starting again. They would found a new village deep in the countryside.
Now here we are finally in the game itself, looking at, well, our town center and our very first villages.
Established, the first priority was locating a reliable food source. The simplest source was gathering from nature.
Right, so first of all, let's gather food from some bushes there, obviously. This is all rather Age of Empires 2. And we got our first mission, gather 50 additional food that we need to do here. And, well, we can also marvel at the graphics here right now. I do like them, gotta say that. I kind of don't like the animations that much, but the buildings and the lighting is definitely doing something there. I'm going to put a waypoint there as well. We can't train in units yet, so we just really need to gather those 50 food. And objective completed.
With a healthy supply of food, the village could start to grow. To do so, it would need more hands to share the work.
And thus we need to produce 5 additional villages. And as we can see, we can queue them up here once again. And all of them are going for some bushes. Because that's the only way of getting something done right now. Now, just in case for your information, this is like the first mission that we're playing here, of course. And we're going to explore the whole map here during this mission. Also fighting something and just learning the ropes and mechanics of what the game has to offer during certain periods of time. Because this game still has eras, of course, that we need to advance to. And we're going to see some of these eras. I think we're actually going to see all of them. Let's just continue there. We're still getting this poor bush here done. That still has some 85 food left. And there it is, another objective completed.
The new workforce could now turn to the growing village's needs. First, they would build a mill near their food source, so villagers could drop off gathered berries more easily.
So let's build that mill over here. And as we can see, we are also at the population limit of 10 people. Built the mill, objective completed.
Next, the growing village would need wood to build with.
Alright, so now we need to assign some of our villages here to the wood, and we need to gather 50 wood. So let's go ahead and do this one. Now this is pretty similar to Age of Empires Online if you have played this one, whereas we are getting experience points from objectives and missions that we complete, and we can then level up a player profile and with that unlock new things. I'm really excited about that prospect as it adds a kind of a certain depth to the RPG mechanics in the background. But well, enough with the bobbling. There is the first wood coming in, and that's already the 50 wood that we need for this objective.
The growing community now had a steady supply of lumber. To make wood collection easier, villagers could erect a lumber camp near the forest.
Alright, so let's go ahead and build this one right away. Now, there is also a new system here with the hotkeys in place. We have the first era right now, so I need to press the Q button and then I can select which building I want to build here, as we can see on this one here. And this is kind of like going through all the eras, and I don't think we can change this at the moment.
Villagers no longer needed to travel as far to drop off lumber. The village now required additional houses to support its growing population.
Alright, so let's start with the first houses. I rather say let's build the first house here. Now down on the left side we can see 10 of 10 population right now. We got some 340 food, and we're also having the 4 people working in that. And yes, once again they need to go back to their well, gathering places in order to drop off the resources. So it's not like Age of Empires 3 then anymore. There we also got that first house, and our population can now increase again. We actually need to build 3 houses, so let's go ahead, build a second one, and build a third one then right beside it. Now, another cool thing about the whole village, well, technique is that, gameplay is that the game, as we can see, is adjusting itself to buildings around it. It's building paths around them. It's building smaller ornaments everywhere. This is really exciting. I think those villages are going to be looking very dynamic. As we can see, there's also a field plopping up here next to that house, just as ornament.
With additional housing in place, even more villagers could join the workforce. But a populous village would soon exhaust the natural food sources. To grow, the community needed dedicated farms.
And that's exactly what we can do now. Let's go ahead and build the first fields over here. And I guess also this one there. We need to build 3 of them actually, so I can stop this one. So if you're not purely into the competitive nature of this game, just city building is also going to be an option.
Woodsmen and farmers now kept the village well supplied.
Oh, and we got lots of people now dropping off from those bushes.
Further growth required knowing the countryside and finding more resources. For that, communities employed scouts.
Right, let's go ahead and build us the first scout, a light melee unit. And let's assign the remaining units there to some wood chopping. There's the scout. And of course we can once again also assign it to control groups.
Able to move quickly and see great distances, scouts were key to discovering new resources. The most important thing for a scout to locate was a ready source of gold.
Alright, so let's find us some gold source here. And I think up there we have it already. We can also see it on the minimap down here.
To prevent having to haul ore large distances, expanding communities would establish a mining camp near the source of gold.
Right, so let's go ahead, get us some villages there, and they're now going to get us the first gold mine over here. And I'm also going to assign a couple of more villages then to this gold mine here.
A well-placed camp ensured efficient gold mining.
And objective completed.
With a good supply of gold, the village was becoming a large town.
Advance to the Feudal Age. So we have to go north for a new era, and there is actually something new about this.
Would be the construction of a large landmark.
Let's go ahead, choose choose a couple of my people there, and we need to build a landmark in order to advance to the next era. In this case here, we always have the choice between 2 of them. Usually, here for the first mission, Abbey of Kings is our only option. Each one of these landmarks has a tremendous bonus. Heals all nearby out-of-combat units by 2 every 1.5 seconds. There's also one of these landmarks that just have very special and powerful units. Let's have this Abbey rather somewhere over here. And it's also going to take quite some time to finish. And with that, we advance to the Feudal Age.
With the landmark in place, the once sleepy village announced itself as a thriving feudal township. The townsfolk had been driven from their homes before, however. This time, they would defend themselves.
Learn to use spearmen, our very first next mission that we have.
The first step would be constructing a barracks for infantry.
So let's go ahead and build this one. I'm also going to train a few more villages there. We still have up to 40, so let's go ahead and also get us another house there.
It's brookie, that.
Once it had
Actually,
a
let's go
barracks,
ahead and also
the
build us
town
another
could
lumber yard
establish
over
a
here.
standing force of soldiers. Simple infantrymen armed with spears were a common choice for these militias.
So let's produce 10 of them. I can also shift Q to get 5 of them right on top. So we are training now 10 of these guys. The spearmen, the most basic unit basically that we have there. Meanwhile, I can look out for my economy a bit. Let's train a few more villages there for the wood supply. I can also see that my mill is fully used now, so we could build a second mill. And how is it looking with my gold? We have around 6 people working on gold. That should be fine for now. Once again, I'm marveling at the dynamic city building that we have with this game. As we can see, there's some fields popping up here. Very cute indeed, with some paths in between. And so the village is becoming more and more to life then over time. We have 8 now, 2 more missing.
The town now had a militia and could look to reclaim the lands lost to invasion.
Right, so we need to start
The
attacking now
invaders
this
had blocked the
palisade.
road north with a stout palisade. Although spears were of little use against these walls, the militia could burn down the obstacle with torches.
And once again, we also have formations, of course. Right now, this is the standard formation. There would be others, though, later unlocking. And now we're destroying this one, so if we don't have any siege units there, my melee units can also take torches and destroy any obstacle.
With the road open, the militia could now reclaim their lands in the north.
Okay, so let's do this. We also get to the first battle now.
First, the spearmen had to deal with a lone sentry.
Personally, the atmosphere is pretty cool. Can't wait for the whole
militia
campaign.
eliminated the enemy sentry.
Alright, there we got a real battle now in front of
The
us.
invaders had a small cavalry camp guarding the road.
Lucky we have
The
spearmen.
militia was ready to attack.
And spearmen, of course, trump the cavalry.
Spears were highly effective against cavalry, allowing the militia to win the day. All that remained was to destroy the invaders' stables.
Which, of course, we are doing right now.
The invaders' cavalry post was destroyed, but other enemy positions awaited further up the road. Hostile archers defended the next camp, which would put spearmen at a disadvantage.
Okay, so we now need to destroy the archery. Attack the enemy
Township
archery
needed
camp.
cavalry of its own to deal with this, and so would need to build stables.
Let's
To
go ahead and
deploy
build the
that cavalry
stables.
quickly, the town needed to build their stables near the front lines.
Alright, so actually we need to go over here. And lucky us, we do get... Do we get some spearmen? No, we don't. So I will need to build them myself.
Friendly villagers came out of hiding and joined
Ah,
the effort.
very good. There we have 3 villagers helping us, and we can build 2 of these stables right away. And thus claim the village for ourselves. Perhaps without burning it, please. While we build them, let's also lay out some additional houses, because we are definitely too low there already.
With stables in place, the town could field horsemen of its own.
Very good. We have 2 of them, so we can produce 2 of them at the same time. And let's just queue a bunch of these riders for us. By the way, I could also continue training a few spearmen of my own. There we have them.
The town now had a rapid light cavalry, skilled at harassing slower targets, such as archers.
So let's go ahead and put the horsemen to the front. There's also a nice little bridge here in between. They weren't really a problem. Let's destroy the archery camp.
The cavalry eliminated the enemy archers and moved on to destroying the archery range itself. The invaders' archers and their camp were destroyed. A final enemy emplacement remained, one fortified with palisades and defended by spearmen.
They attacked the enemy infantry camp that we have now.
To deal with this target, the town would need longbowmen. First, they needed to build archery ranges in the area regained from the invaders.
Let's do this. I guess we're going to get some villages there again. We could also just use the ones that we already have.
Once more, friendly villagers arrived to help.
Ah, there you see it. There we have them. 2 archery ranges. And we're also destroying the remainings of this village here. Oh, and once again, yeah, well, we are rather low there. Let's build some houses.
Each timber fails.
Oh, actually, I need to build 3 of them. Let's go ahead and build a 3rd one. There it is.
With several archery ranges in place, the town could add longbowmen to its forces.
Produced 20 longbowmen, the special units of the English, that we're also going to see later on in a match against the Chinese. There we have them. Alright, one last mission we have.
Eliminate enemy spearmen at a distance, so long as they took the proper position.
And of course, terrain is going to play a vital role, so there we have some cliffs. Let's put the archers on top of them to give them a nice bonus there to the attack. Then we're probably just going to wait.
The longbowmen would be protected from an infantry charge.
And there's the infantry charge coming.
The last of the invaders fell to the resurgent homegrown population. Now that their lands were free of enemies, the town could take the next step in its growth and become a powerful medieval city.
Advance to the Castle Age. And while my forces destroy this village, let's go back to our village.
Landmark would be the signpost of this growth.
The White Tower is our next landmark here to advance to the next era. Once again, we would have a couple of options here, but for this mission we only have one. And let's place this White Tower right here in the center. And since wood we don't really need a lot, let's put all of our villages onto this one here to speed it up. And just after a bit of time, our next monument is about to be finished.
Where a few lowly refugees had founded a small village, now rose a mighty city. From there, would grow an empire.
And thus we have played Mission 0. Onwards to our next match. Stay tuned.